When people hear they can pull capital out of their property in under a week, the first instinct is fair. Why not just walk into a traditional bank? The honest answer is not about interest rates. It is about structural friction. Start with the speed penalty. A legacy retail institution can take 60 days to clear one application. That is not an inconvenience. That is a freeze on your financial momentum right when you need to move. Think about what freezes with you. A real estate deal you were about to protect, materials you needed to secure before pricing climbed, personal assets you wanted to restructure. Every one of those windows closes while the bank sits on paperwork. Alternative private credit works differently. Formal structural terms are executed in 48 to 72 hours. Cash is wired in 5 to 7 business days. It is a tactical tool built to preserve momentum, not consume it. Now the deeper problem. Retail banks are built exclusively for simple W-2 employees. Their entire underwriting engine runs on one thing: paycheck math. If you do not fit that mold, the system doesn't know what to do with you. Here is the trap. Entrepreneurs and self-employed owners use standard corporate write-offs. Those write-offs shrink taxable income on paper, so when the bank runs debt to income, the math looks weak, and a perfectly qualified borrower gets denied. Private credit shifts the focus entirely. Instead of penalizing your tax structure, the desk evaluates the hard equity built directly into your real estate. The asset carries the decision, not the paycheck. That structural pivot changes who qualifies. Because the equity carries the weight, the required entry floor drops down to a 600 FICO score. Borrowers that legacy banks reject on site get a real seat at the table. Now the physical bottleneck. A standard bank forces you to wait weeks for an appraiser to walk through your home with a clipboard. Your entire approval hangs on one person's schedule and one person's opinion. That single point of failure is the friction penalty. Human bias creeps in. Scheduling conflicts stack up. A single walkthrough can push your funding out by 2, 3, even 4 weeks with no recourse for you. The automated digital desktop valuation replaces all of that. No clipboard, no walkthrough. The system pulls verified property data, comparable sales, and market signals, and it runs the check instantly. That automation removes the human bias problem entirely. The valuation is not filtered through one appraiser's mood or one appraiser's calendar. The data speaks for itself, and every borrower gets the same clean evaluation. Put the two systems side by side. On the left, the bank, 60 days, W-2 required, physical appraisal, human bias. On the right, private credit, 72 hours, asset-based, digital valuation, 600 FICO floor. The gap is not small. Every one of those left column bottlenecks stacks on top of the next one. That is how a 2-week problem becomes a 2-month problem. And that is how a live deal turns into a missed deal. Compare that to the private credit path. Terms in 72 hours. Digital valuation done in minutes. Wire in 5 to 7 business days. The whole sequence is measured in days, not months. This is why the framing matters. Bypassing the bank is not about ignoring traditional options. It is about choosing a specialized tool built for speed and access when the job actually requires speed and access. Think about the situations where speed actually decides the outcome. Scaling a new venture, protecting an active real estate deal, optimizing personal debt before rates shift. In all three, waiting 60 days is the same as saying no. The operational choice is simple. You can accept the friction penalty, or you can route around it. One path freezes your capital. The other path unlocks it in a week. So the real question is not whether traditional banks are legitimate. They are. The real question is whether their timeline matches yours. If your deal window is 5 days and their timeline is 60, that is a structural mismatch. If you need capital wired in 5 to 7 business days to scale a venture, protect a deal, or restructure debt, skip the bank red tape. Head to the link below and run your property address through the digital system today.